Picture this scenario. Somewhere in the depths of the northern Arabian Sea, a ghost moves without sound. That ghost is HMS Anson, Britain's deadliest nuclear-powered hunter, armed and pointed directly at Iran. Meanwhile, a coalition of 22 nations has assembled at lightning speed following the strike on Iran's supreme leader. The Strait of Hormuz, a choke point for 20% of global oil, has been closed, triggering a response that shakes global security. Today, we break down this crisis, from the submarine lurking in the deep to the economic catastrophe unfolding in real time. The world is about to change. If you haven't subscribed to World Brief Daily yet, now is the perfect time. This is exactly the kind of story we exist to cover. Deep, accurate, and told without the noise. Hit subscribe and let's get into it. On February 28, 2026, a coordinated strike on Iranian military targets changed everything. Iran didn't retreat, it escalated. The IRGC issued a terrifying warning. The Strait of Hormuz was closed. No ship is allowed to pass. Not yours, not anyone's. The effect was staggering. Tanker traffic dropped by 90% in a single week, sending shockwaves through the global energy market. Oil prices surged to $126 per barrel. Analysts now warn that without a resolution, we could see prices push toward $200. This is Operation Epic Fury. For more investigative updates on the conflict, stay tuned to the updates. That would be catastrophic for energy markets, food, fertilizer, and virtually every commodity that moves through supply chains. The Congress.gov report states this is the largest disruption to the global energy supply since the 1970s energy crisis. Opening the strait militarily is harder than it sounds. Iran has nearly 1,000 miles of coastline along the Persian Gulf. Its mobile anti-ship missile batteries can be repositioned constantly. Detection is extremely difficult in that terrain. Iran operates two parallel navies, the conventional navy and the ideologically driven IRGC navy. The IRGC holds sole responsibility for the Persian Gulf. They have been attacking commercial ships since the blockade began. At least 21 confirmed attacks on merchant vessels had occurred by mid-March 2026, using drone boats and missiles. Sailors have been killed. The oil tanker Skylight was struck north of Oman. This is a global trade catastrophe. The Mkd was hit by a drone boat, sparking a fire. This is active warfare against civilian shipping. On March 19th, the U.S. launched Operation Epic Fury to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. A-10 Thunderbolt jets and Apache gunships were deployed to neutralize Iranian naval assets. Strikes destroyed threats to shipping. Over 15,000 targets have been functionally hit. Missile volume is down 90%. Production capacity has been functionally defeated. But 90% is not zero. In the Strait of Hormuz, residual capability remains deadly. The risk to commercial shipping cannot be reduced to zero. Iran still has its geography. It still has its mines and submarines. For the updates, I'm reporting on global strategy. And that is where HMS Anson enters the picture. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting World Brief Daily. Now back to the ghost in the Arabian Sea. On January 10, 2026, HMS Anson departed Scotland for Western Australia, a 9,500 nautical mile voyage. The submarine arrived near Perth in February for training. But everything changed when the Strait of Hormuz crisis erupted in March. HMS Anson turned north, traveling 5,500 miles to the northern Arabian Sea. Sitting quietly and invisibly, it is now directly within operational range of Iran. HMS Anson is an Astute-class nuclear-powered attack submarine, and currently the only fully operational vessel of its class in the entire Royal Navy. As defense analyst Jack Buckby noted, the rest of the fleet was unavailable. This is Britain's one shot. The HMS Anson measures 97 meters, displacing 7,800 tons, powered by a 25-year life nuclear reactor. It relies on high-definition surveillance, and its acoustic signature is so low it is practically invisible. Iranian coastal defense radars and submarine sonars cannot detect it. It is for all purposes invisible. But the HMS Anson's real power lies in its weapons, the Tomahawk Block 4 land attack cruise missiles. These missiles have a range of over 1,600 kilometers and can be retargeted mid-flight. From the Arabian Sea, they can reach deep into Iranian territory, command centers, and air defense nodes. The submarine communicates with London every 24 hours via the UK's permanent joint headquarters. Any decision to fire requires direct authorization from Prime Minister Keir Starmer personally. Beyond land attack, HMS Anson carries Spearfish heavyweight torpedoes. Each one weighs nearly 2 tons. They use advanced sonar guidance to engage both underwater and surface threats at long range. Iran has stationed at least 17 submarines in Bandar Abbas, including Kilo and Fate-class vessels. The Fate class poses a significant risk to surface vessels in the confined Gulf waters. HMS Anson is designed to hunt and neutralize these threats before they reach shipping lanes. HMS Anson is also an intelligence platform, monitoring Iranian naval movements in real time. It collects electronic intelligence on radar and communication systems, sharing that with allied forces. This persistent covert surveillance is as vital as the Tomahawks themselves. The deployment marks a fundamental shift in London's strategic posture following attacks on Diego Garcia. One missile broke apart in midair. The second was intercepted at the last moment by U.S. defense systems, but the strategic message was unmistakable. With a confirmed range of 4,000 kilometers, Iranian missiles now put European capitals within theoretical range. This changed the strategic calculus. London responded by granting the U.S. full authority to use British bases for offensive strikes and maritime protection. Furthermore, Prime Minister Starmer ordered the submarine HMS Anson into the Arabian Sea. Iranian officials condemned the move, calling it participation in aggression. Simultaneously, the UK expanded U.S. access to RAF Fairford and Diego Garcia, signaling a broader naval and air presence in the region. The Type 45 destroyer HMS Dragon, equipped with advanced air defense, has departed the UK to protect airspace around Cyprus. RAF Typhoon jets in Qatar and Cyprus are on active readiness to counter drone swarms, supported by Wildcat helicopters. The UK facility in Bahrain coordinates this operation, including readiness for civilian evacuations via the airline bay. It is a significant military commitment, but as experts note, it is also a remarkably fragile one. The Royal Navy currently has limited surface vessels in the region, with several key ships recently retired from service. HMS Anson remains the only fully operational Astute-class submarine available to support these high-stakes operations. Every piece of this strategic puzzle matters enormously as the United States struggles to build a broader security coalition. British naval power remains a critical yet stretched asset in one of the world's most volatile maritime corridors. The response from NATO allies to the Iran blockade ranged from skepticism to outright refusal. Germany's defense minister called it not our war, while the EU showed no appetite for joining the coalition. Trump's reaction was forceful, describing the alliance as a paper tiger without the United States. But beneath the public fracturing, a quiet diplomatic process led 22 countries to sign a joint declaration. This new coalition, including the UK, Japan, and Gulf nations, provides regional legitimacy to the effort. Declaring the blockade a violation of international law, the group cited UN Security Council Resolution 2817. It is a clear endorsement for whatever military action is chosen to ensure safe passage. The economic scaffolding was being erected alongside the military one. In coordination with the IEA, strategic oil reserves were released to ease market pressure. But behind this, a far more consequential document was circulating. A classified report leaked to Axios reveals Washington's 6 demands to Tehran, terms that read more like surrender. First, Iran must suspend its ballistic missile program for 5 years. Second, all uranium enrichment must cease. Third, critical nuclear reactors must be sealed. Fourth, missiles must be capped at 1,000. Fifth, all support to regional proxies must end. And finally, the Strait of Hormuz must be reopened. As Marco Rubio stated, the objective of Operation Epic Fury is the total destruction of Iran's military infrastructure. Tehran, however, has rejected the proposal.